Hello everybody, it's Dutch104 here and welcome to my video. In this video I should be showing you my Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum Leman Russ Vanquisher conversion and the little bits I've done to it. Right, let's show the hull. Let's just move it a little bit. And the first area we can start with, quite simply, the driver's hatch here, I hope you can see it, there's a little piece of blue plastic behind it. That's just to seal up the back end of the driver's hatch, so there's no embarrassing little grey sort of patches behind. Here I've put set of searchlights from the previous Leman Russ kit, made sure that actually they are low enough so the turret doesn't catch them. I've also drilled out the heavy bolter. Quite an easy thing to do that. I've also added some ablative armour. Now the ablative armour was actually quite easy to make. It's 3 pieces of sprue and a piece of plastic card there, a couple of pieces of old track. The idea was, I think of an after factory modification by the crewman, since most of the shots fired at this vehicle would be coming from the front. Most shells would bounce off the armour that way, or glance off that way, or they glance off that way, or maybe to the underside. Well, this is the only flat area of the tank left, with the exception of this piece here, obviously. I thought about using the bulldozer blade, but this vehicle hasn't got one fitted. So the crew decided to put this piece of ablative armour on instead. Now, that idea, the fact that all the rounds are going to bounce off the tank, is all in good in theory, providing all the shots come to the front. So if you look to the side, you've got a nice big flat area to aim at. So all that theory goes right out the window. But there we are. The only other modification to the hull I made was a little storage box at the back. Just made sure there's sort of hinges there. It's got room to open, and that was that for the actual hull area. And when I took the turret off, I'll show you the some modifications. First and foremost, obviously, is the barrel's been extended by quite some distance. That's the piece of the Vanquisher barrel I cut off. So it's been lengthened by 3.5 times. Just so happens that my best friend bought a box of felt tip pens at a local shop. It was 10 pens for £2, and it just so happened that this tube was exactly the same size to fit in quite snugly into the gap here and also into here. It's quite brittle, so I need a little bit of green stuff to fill that gap in there. But I think, when you think of the early Forge World models, and you look at a lot of the modern battle tanks, 21st century Earth, you think, well, a lot of those gun barrels are quite long. So I think, well, I think the nice long gun barrel suits this particular model. Other modifications. This area here, it's got a Land Raider searchlight. I don't like the size of the other searchlight, which is quite a big sort of thing. I think by putting the searchlight to the side, it sort of reduces the profile of the turret. Then we've got a backpack up with bits box. Little piece of sprue there, but perhaps there's some extra sense underneath there. Just nothing particularly special about that. I haven't glued the hatching. I haven't quite worked out what to do with that. I'd rather put a hinge on it or glue it shut, or have a separate commander. Not too sure, but there's still got options there. Now with the little piece of the on this back section just here, this back section has only got one facing to the rear. I wanted to put lots of kit on it, and I thought, well, I was a bit stuck for space, and I couldn't make up my mind up what to put on there. So much choice, so I thought, well, I'll build it out a bit, and all I did by doing that, I used a Lego brick, 3x1 stud. I filed off the studs at the top, put a little piece of plastic card just to cover up the holes, and on the top piece of tarpaulin, spare kit bag. This blue area, that would be an area for the tank badge. A fuel container with a wire frame. Well, this one's going to carry water, and if I flip it over slightly, little square do and Z up with bits box, and then also on that side got a little bag, bits box, a couple of extra pieces of sprue just here and just there, and just to build up a little bit, and a little piece of track, a piece of extra side armour. Overall, I really enjoyed making this kit. It took me a while. I wasn't rushing. It took me a few hours, couple of hours, but it was really enjoyable. Now the main role of this particular vehicle on the battlefield, the way I see it, is it sort of sits in the perhaps in the middle or more towards the back, and just sort of perhaps it sits behind cover, perhaps not, and just snipes off at enemy vehicles. And this vehicle it's got its limitations when fighting in a built-up area. The tank is driving down the street, it needs to turn its turret. Obviously it may strike a building with its barrel, so it's a bit limited from that aspect. However, my best friend and I tend to play on reasonably open sort of battlefields, so as such that problem doesn't really exist. But if I also do have another Leman Russ with a shorter barrel, so that particular vehicle can go in the built-up area, and this chap can sit at the back and snipe away. Now overall I enjoyed making this vehicle. The kit took me about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most. I sort of did a few bits here and there over a few evenings. I quite enjoyed it. It's quite relaxing to make it, so there's no point rushing it. And in the fullness of time, I hope to get it painted quite soon. So I will put a video of that once it's done. I just want to finish now by saying thank you much for watching my video. Feel free to comment below, and until next time, take care.